Yeah, another great performance. I mean, it's limited, and right now it is what it is. But he makes the most of those minutes, impacts the game right away. His defensive ability, size, athleticism. He's got just great feel and timing, and he just comes away with deflections, finds a way to get to those loose balls, and as we've talked about it, those are momentum plays. He single-handedly, in my opinion, kind of changed that stretch, which gave us, pushed the distance for us.
Wes, I know he obviously is. I was reprimanded the other day. Is in a group that starts quarters, but what do you like about him in the second unit particularly?
It kind of changes the complexion of how we play. I think Monte's been really good defensively. Obviously he doesn't get the same attention because he doesn't get the deflections and so forth, so on. But he uses his body, uses his size. He knows that there might be some physical limitations, but he's always in the right spot. So at least it gives him a chance to make the right play. I think with 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗏, it just changes things. His versatility, be able to switch, and there's no deficit. He can chase down rebounds, play in crowds and go get the ball. So it's a little different feel, but I think having that balance, to be able to play different styles, I think it's great.
This was one of the best scoring nights of Rui's career. What type of impact did he make tonight?
Oh, it was huge. I mean, I think right away his level of aggression, you could tell. Just not only playing downhill, but he was taking the right types of shots. I think he played with a sense of urgency, but he looked motivated, which it was a good sign.
The bench hasn't always been a strength for you guys this season. Now over the last few games, it has been. What does that change for your team?
Well, part of it is we're getting guys back, so that kind of maybe bumps certain guys down a little bit, but they go back to their natural position. Allows us to maybe shorten some of those stretches. So maybe there's a little fatigue factor, but when you have the depth, you can kind of play teams in waves.
Thank you.
Are you inclined to stick with the two big lineup to begin games, or will the upcoming opponents have to begin a game with two bigs?
No, I think when, we talked about this the other day, I like to give it at least a 5-game sample. Just to give it a look and see, are there any holes in what we're trying to do? How does it affect not only the group, but also those individuals in their own little space? It's tough to say, hey, after 1 or 2 games, did it work? Well, we won the game, so you could argue it did, but is it something that we can kind of lean in on? And, we'll give it another 3 games for sure. But right now I like it. Guys are trying to figure out, a little different as far as who's involved in certain actions. Different guys might be in different spots, but I think they're starting to pick it up.
We don't want to assume anything, so we'll ask, who won the Defensive Player of the Game belt tonight?
It's a long shot here, but 𝗙𝗢𝗏.
Okay.
In that moment with that coach's challenge that you used, what are you looking at, and also to make your decision? And also, did you have a sense that that moment could be as pivotal as it sort of turned out to be?
Usually I'm more hesitant to use it, until late in the game, but I felt like that was a momentum stretch there. I trust my guys. We got one guy who's always on the computer. He gets a quick look at it. I really have no idea outside of just seeing it in live action. And if I'm pretty certain, I'll just call it. If I'm not certain, I look and turn. I trust that they've had an opportunity to look at it, and if he says challenge it, I challenge it.
Kristaps, what did you think that your team did really well tonight, or what areas were you really happiest with?
I think one of the main reasons why I love what 𝗙𝗢𝗏 did tonight. He how many times he got those steals or got his hands on the passing lanes, and he kind of changed the momentum a couple of times. He got some important steals. We got an and one on the other end, so I feel like he was really big time with his steals and his activity on the defensive end. And I think Rui had a great game. Obviously, career high for him. Kuz did his thing. But yeah, the one guy that's I think is going to be under the radar again a little bit is 𝗙𝗢𝗏. I think he gives the team so much with his instincts defensively that I got to give give him credit.
So you had to kind of toggle between power forward and center today, and seem like last night you really played mostly power forward. Do you like being able to toggle between the positions, or does it kind of mess with your flow at all?
Like a little bit. Like I try to adjust as quickly as I can, of course, you know. But obviously, as the 5, the ball goes through me a bit more. You know, when I'm at the 4, I'm a bit more on the perimeter, just looking for some cuts, looking for some opportunities. But I'm comfortable playing both. I did that in Dallas, and now playing with. I really like playing with Gaff. You know, just his presence down there, blocking shots, getting those rebounds, and being a threat, like a lob threat. It opens shots up for guys. You know, so either way, I really like playing, and yeah, and we, you know, we look pretty good out there, so we have to keep that going.
And you guys really came out with a ton of energy right off the bat,
Uh-huh.
and then felt like sometime in the second and third quarter you lost it. How'd you guys refine that?
Yeah, I think we did lose it for a little bit, but what happened third quarter? Yeah, we got a bit stagnant on offense. I felt like we were just kind of out on the perimeter, weren't getting good looks, and yeah, but then we I think we finished the third really well. We got the 9-point lead again, and I think that was important. That kind of set the tone for the fourth quarter also. And then fourth quarter we kind of came out. Whoever was on the court at that time, we came out and played hard and didn't give him no chances. And then pretty much it was, you know, they did make some little runs, but that was our game.
What do you think of the lineup you guys started the second quarter with? It seems like that's a lineup that really gives you guys a tremendous advantage over the vast majority of teams.
Yeah. Who was on the court at that time?
So that would be Delon, Corey, Kuz, Rui, and you.
Yeah. I love that lineup. You know, we have everything we need on you know, we have shooting. Corey's a great shooter. Rui, if Rui is aggressive, you know, he's always aggressive. He has a scorer's mentality, and he's great for us. And I think, yeah, those guys are, you know, Corey, Kuz, Rui, they're strong guys. They can switch between them. And then I'm there to protect the rim and do what I do. So, and of course Delon. So, I would agree with you that that's a good 5 that we have, especially against those second units from the.
What do you like about this new starting lineup?
There's always somebody at the rim. I feel like we make a little bit less mistakes, and that's not like calling anybody out. It's more so of like size and length eliminates mistakes sometimes. You know what I mean? So a lot of times somebody may make a mistake, but we got somebody big at the rim, right? Or, you know, I'm able to guard a guard, and then, you know, there's somebody at 7 foot coming out and guarding pick and roll too. So I would say that would probably be a big positive with the new lineup.
Gas had to extend himself a lot on defense, but what does he benefit from? Is it just that he can play off KP, or how?
He benefits because his job is really, really simple, and it's either you're sitting a screen, or you're going to be in the dunker and you're going to catch a lob, or you're going to get the ball at the rim and you're going to dunk it that way. And I think just minimizing things that he has to worry about. You know, he doesn't have to be at the top of the key anymore playing flash or doing certain things. He is sometimes, but the game is just a little bit easier for him when we're playing this big lineup. And I think, you know, small sample, but that's what I kind of feel. So.
How do you feel the chemistry between you and Rui has developed? I know you guys haven't had a ton of time in games, but it seems like you guys are progressing a lot.
I mean, it's really easy. You know, I feel like I can play with anybody. You know, I just understand, like, for him, he's a scorer. He has a scoring mentality, and just trying to make it a little bit easier. And especially for me, I know if I'm passing to him, he ain't passing it. He's gonna shoot the ball. So, you know, just putting him in positions to where he can make mismatches, and if the best perimeter defenders guard me, then he's going to have somebody that's not as well, and he can get in the post and he can use his strength. And you know, tonight was a really good game for him. You know, not just because he had 28, but just the way he played, and it looked like he just had a little bit. He was thinking a little bit more out there, thinking in a good way.
They ended up giving him 30 after the fact.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so you guys came out with like a ton of energy early on. What's just like the feel in the locker room now after these wins? Like, are you guys feeling a little bit more juiced up before the games?
I wouldn't say juiced up. I think we just have a healthier team, and obviously playing with this bigger lineup, some teams are having a little bit issues with it. I think that's really it. So.
What has it meant these last few games to have a bench that can change the momentum of games?
I think that's a huge part of why we're winning right now. You know, granted, from having 𝗙𝗢𝗏 back, he's been phenomenal and huge, and Rui's been huge too. But if you look at our scoring over the 10-game losing streak or whatever, we didn't really have a bench scoring, and having those guys come back has helped tremendously. You know, it's so many nights our bench was getting outscored, and having Rui out there, he's always looking to score. 𝗙𝗏𝗏, he's controlling the game defensively. I mean, it helps out, you know, so it's been great.